Okay, I get a lot of emails asking me about stringing a pistol style crossbow. And, some people make it a lot harder than it is, although it's a lot easier with two people. But I'll just show you a really simple way, a really cheap way to build yourself a little stringing string. So, anyway, what I've got is this is an 80-pound crossbow. It's got the fiberglass limb. If yours has a thinner metal limb, like this, that's a 50-pound crossbow. So now you know the difference. So what I've done is I've mounted the limb. I got a metal plate in front between the limb and the grub screw that holds that into place. If you don't have a metal plate, stick in a penny. It doesn't matter. All you're doing is just keeping that screw from cutting into the limb itself. I put the caps on already. I've got my little weenie hammer here, and I always like to make sure those things are on tight, because if they're not properly seated, you can break stuff. So make sure that that's the case. Okay, so what I've done, I took a 3-foot long piece of parachute cord. You could use any kind of heavy duty nylon string that you've got around. I've even used a crossbow string from a 150-pound crossbow. We'll do exactly the same thing, but these things cost $6 or $8. And you can do this for pennies on the dollar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the crossbow string and I'm going to stick it over one end and make sure that it's properly lined up on there. Now when I took the parachute cord, I tied a loop in each end. So it started at 3 feet, but now that the parachute cord's been tied off in each end, it's probably closer to, I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's about 24 inches. When you tie these loops on the end, make them fairly large. In fact, they could even be bigger than this. You don't want to make these really, really small. Like you would want something like this, and that'll become evident as we go along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this parachute cord over, and right here where the limb takes a dip, that's where I want to anchor it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the other side, but before I slip this on, or even after I slip it on, I want to take this string and run it through the cord on this side. So you can see how that comes through that cord, right? Now I've got my stirrup mounted on here. Now I'm going to stick it on my foot as if I was going to pull it back and cock it. All right, so what I'll do, make sure that string's right there in those bends on that deal. And I'm going to pull this really tight and pop it on. This comes off, and voila, you're strung. Really easy way to unstring it, just exactly the opposite process. This goes underneath here like this. So there you go. Now if you've got a self-cocking crossbow that's got this big lever on here, those don't come with the stirrup. There's no place to mount them on there. But what you could do, and you do have room because I've tried it, is after you get the limb mounted, just take an additional piece of parachute cord, run it through there, tie it off in a loop, and you're going to create your own stirrup that you can just later just put a slip knot in that. You can untie it and take it out after you've got done stringing the crossbow. So you can use it on these type of crossbows as well, but you're going to have to implement a stirrup. And so that's the way, in a nutshell, makes it real easy to make a crossbow. String it up.